Good afternoon. This is Rich Nelson with Allendale covering the rapid commodity comments here. This is Wednesday, October 13th of 2010. Of key issues on the grains here this morning, we did see, of course, the lower closes across the board. Corn down about 10 3/4. We will point out that was new highs here for the uptrend were made early on, but we did close down near the lows. As far as the charts look, might be a small short-term rejection trade, but we certainly can't say this is any type of topping formation at all. Keep in mind, the simple fact is we did put in new highs here as far as this uptrend. As far as soybeans, down a minor 1 1/4 cent, not too much here in this as far as the last trade. Kind of mixed action there. Wheat generally lower here for most of the day, following the corn, down 7 3/4. As far as news out today, of course, for the corn, the biggest issue was this EPA blending rate number. The fact the EPA did come out and confirm that they will move the maximum allowable blending rate up to 15% for ethanol. And that's for cars 2007 to current. Keep in mind, the industry's been talking about this same legislation for almost 2 or 3 months. There's a very solid consensus that the USDA or that EPA was going to make this change here. The real question right now for the industry is not necessarily about these 2007 to current cars, but of course the next step, the 2001 to 2006 cars. And that decision will be made in early December. So keep in mind, today's news was good, but keep in mind we won't get the real question mark as far as that decided until early December. Additionally, we have to point out we aren't going to see any benefit from this announcement here anytime soon. Most retailers are likely to wait until that December announcement as far as the next tier down in cars before making any decisions about blending rates or changing pumps, those type of issues. So if they do wait till December, it could be as early as spring before we actually see some actually benefit on the production run as far as ethanol due to this decision here. With that in mind, that may be one reason why we had some people do more of a buy the rumor, sell the fact type of trade here. On the soybean end, like I said, down 1 1/4. Key things here were actually not too bad here. The fact China bought 297,000, I say 297,500 tons of U.S. soybeans overnight. So almost 300,000 tons, six cargoes. Quite a big number on this end. Additionally, by the close, we did have NOPA, the private oilseed industry organization. Their own private number, as far as estimates, will be released tomorrow morning. The trade right now is looking for a September crush rate for soybeans, about 116 million bushels. And in terms of what's that mean for actual numbers, that's about 8% higher than last year. So that's actually running a pretty good clip still. We got July, or say August levels were up about 9%. So the bottom line is the trade expects a good crush rate to continue into September. Over on the wheat side, news today, Iraq bought 100,000 tons of U.S. wheat. Certainly good news there. That comes in addition to yesterday's announcement from Egypt that we would get all of their tendered amount of 220,000 tons is what we'll supply to Egypt. So 2 back-to-back days of good numbers as far as export sales on the wheat side. Bottom line there, surprisingly so far, exporters are saying this is not, or I say buyers are saying current prices are not too high. They are still feeling that there may be some value to these prices right now. Over on the livestock side, down 27 for the October, a larger 82 for the December. Not really a good reason for why we did see that drop on the decent and deferred contracts. We'll point out on the midday beef report, choice is up 44, select is up 22. So actually for the week, the wholesale beef is actually running higher right now. So that's supportive. On the cash cattle side, we still have quite a discrepancy between bids at 95, asking prices at 98. So at this point, looks like we're still going to wait another day, probably before seeing some cash cattle trade going on here. Over on the hog side, down 20 in October, about 107 on the December, and certainly lower on those deferreds. So quite a tough day for deferreds. One reason why might be some of those recent reports. Iowa, Southern Minnesota weight report showed weights running up about 2 pounds. So we actually are seeing some solid benefit now from those from the high quality corn that's being distributed throughout the Midwest. So higher pounds on this end. Also, looks like estimates for this week's slaughter may only show a 1% decline from last year. Last week was a 2% decline. For pretty much July through September, we were seeing declines of 6%. So the bottom line right now is this hog market is seeing quite a few numbers show up at the front door, maybe even a little more so than what most people were expecting at this point. So not only do we see a very large slaughter this week, in addition we're seeing weights are actually picking up a little more than people were talking about here with this high quality corn. So maybe that's one reason why we did see some break here on the hog side here today. Overall, though, we do have a lot of things going on here at Allendale. We're working on price projections for grains based on this new USDA report we got in here last week. In addition, we're working on some new numbers for livestock. We're going to have to go back and revise our production numbers in addition to price expectations for livestock actually going through the third quarter of 2011. So we've got quite a few things that we're working on right now, which we hopefully will be releasing here next few days. So keep on top of that, on top of marketings, on top of trading information as well. We'd be happy to help you out in anything we can, whether it's through our research product, the Allendale Research Center, which can be found on our website, or whether it's through direct brokerage relationships. We'd be happy to help you out in any way we can. And that number to get more information is 1-800-262-7538. This is Rich Nelson. Have a good trading day and a good trading week.